Welcome to Cinema Bites. Your go-to for movie recaps in a flash. Big twists, epic moments, all in just minutes. The movie Mortal Kombat starts today at the house of Hanzo Hisashi in the year 1670. His wife asks him to fetch her some water, and the young boy goes to check on his crying sister. Hanzo takes the buckets and heads to the well to get water for his wife. Meanwhile, the mother goes to see why her daughter is crying, but suddenly hears the sound of fighting outside and sees the guards being killed. Quickly, she takes her daughter and hides her underground, but a fighter named Sub-Zero enters and prevents her from leaving, asking about Hanzo. When she refuses to answer, he uses ice from his hand like a weapon and kills them both. Hanzo hears them and rushes quickly to save them, but upon arrival he finds all the guards dead, and is shocked to see his wife and son frozen, grieving deeply. Suddenly, a group of fighters allied with Sub-Zero attacks him. However, Hanzo, being a very skilled master, manages to defeat them easily. He even throws his sword at one entering the house, killing him. Another group of fighters arrives. Upon seeing them, Hanzo quickly grabs his knife, ties it with a rope and begins attacking them fiercely, fighting them with great anger over his wife and son's death, and eventually manages to kill them all one by one without mercy. Afterwards, he goes to search for Sub-Zero, and upon seeing him, tells him that this day is fated and that his lineage must end today, realizing that he was the one who killed his family. But Hanzo doesn't understand him as he speaks Chinese, while Hanzo is from Japan. Hanzo tells him that he promises to finish him off now and begins attacking Sub-Zero. However, Sub-Zero is a very skilled fighter, and Hanzo faces great difficulty in confronting him. Sub-Zero manages to wound him with a knife in his abdomen and attempts to freeze him with ice, but Hanzo manages to evade and wounds him with the knife in his abdomen. They continue attacking each other until Sub-Zero throws him into a tree, grabs his knife, and delivers a powerful blow, finishing him off. But after a while, Hanzo still has some life in him and fights with all his strength to check on his daughter, but unfortunately, his injury is severe, and he dies, turning into fire and disappearing from the place. Suddenly, a man named Raiden appears, enters the house, takes Hanzo's daughter who was hiding underground, and leaves the place. We then learn that Earth is on the verge of a great catastrophe, and if they lose another tournament, it will be taken over by a savage realm from the outer world. However, a prophecy states that a group of heroes will emerge from Hanzo's lineage and will be able to fend off this invasion. After a long period, we see a man named Cole Young preparing for a boxing match. The person in charge of the fights enters and informs him that he will face someone named Ramirez, and warns him because he is a strong and fast fighter. The fight begins, and they attack each other with very strong blows. At that moment, someone enters the fighting hall and watches the ongoing match. Cole initially manages to gain control and almost defeats him, but Ramirez manages to wrap around his neck and chokes him until Cole finally surrenders. We then move to the outer world and see the fighter Sub-Zero in his new suit, talking to his leader, telling him that the prophecy might come true, meaning they might lose the 10th tournament. But Sub-Zero assures him that there is no prophecy, as he killed Hanzo from Kron, and no one from his lineage remains. However, the leader tells him that they won't leave it to chance and orders him to return to Earth and kill all the world's heroes there. We return to Earth once again, noticing that Cole is experiencing strange hallucinations but doesn't pay attention to it. He goes to his daughter to take her and leave. His daughter gives him a charm, saying it will always keep him safe. At that moment, the man who watched him earlier introduces himself as Jax and asks about the dragon-shaped tattoo he has, wondering where he got it. His daughter says it's a birthmark, and he was born with it. Cole says he's glad to have met him and leave. He then goes to the restaurant with his daughter, and his wife arrives, asking how he did in the match. He tells her he's fine, and on his feet, taking his wife to get food from the restaurant. Meanwhile, Jax is watching them and informs someone on the phone that he confirmed the situation. Suddenly, it starts snowing, and his wife is surprised because it's summer. Sub-Zero appears in the area, raises the ice, and attacks everyone there. Cole quickly goes to his daughter, but Jax arrives, puts him in his car, and drives away immediately. On the way, Cole asks Jax who that person is. Jax tells him that whoever he is, he wants to kill both of them. He shows him the dragon mark, revealing that Jax is also one of the heroes, and informs him that this person's sole job will be to kill him or anyone in his way until he reaches him. He explains that the mark isn't a birthmark or anything, it's proof that he is the chosen one for the fight. Jax drives the car into a side street and is surprised to find Sub-Zero standing in front of him. Jax gets out of the car, takes a weapon, and gives Cole an address to find a woman named Sonya. He goes to face Sub-Zero, and upon entering the building, finds it all frozen. Sub-Zero suddenly appears and attacks him with great force, and Jax can't do anything, even when he tries to shoot him. Sub-Zero uses his ice power, freezing the bullets, and continues attacking Jax until he grabs both his arms, freezes them, breaks them, and throws him off the building. Jax falls to the ground dead. Meanwhile, Cole and his family reach a safe place, and he tells his wife that he needs to face this person, because if he reaches here, he might kill them all. He decides to go look for Sonya to understand what's going on. We then move to the outer world and see a woman named Melina talking to the leader, informing him that Sub-Zero killed one of the heroes and another escaped. He asks her to double the killing force to reach them, but Melina tells him that Lord Raiden might know they're breaking the rule. However, he tells her not to worry about it, and orders her to send someone named Ceases to finish him off. Meanwhile, Cole arrives at the place Jax told him about but is surprised by a woman attacking him, quickly overpowering him. He stops her and tells her he's looking for Sonya and came on behalf of Jax, so she asks him to show her the mark. As soon as she saw him, she told him that she was Sonya and took him with her into the house. Everyone saw her children with Jax in the army and learned that she was from the Special Forces. Then she took him to a secret place inside the house and explained that she set up this place for the secret operations they conduct related to the mark. She told him that 7 years ago, she and Jax were on a mission in Brazil, and when they got there, they discovered that the target had superpowers and destroyed their unit in seconds. The person had the same dragon mark, and as soon as Jax finished him, the mark transferred to Jax. She told him that for years she had been searching for an explanation for what happened, and through her research, she learned about other worlds they know nothing about, which hold tournaments. Those who enter them have the same mark, and these tournaments are called Mortal Kombat. But Cole wasn't convinced by what she was saying, thinking she made it up. However, she told him it was true, which is why they had been searching for him and others like him for so long. Unfortunately, most of them had died. When he saw a picture of Hanzo, he had visions again. At that moment, he heard a voice inside and saw someone named Kano. Sonya told him that Kano was a mercenary from the Black Dragon clan, a weapons dealer, and a drug smuggler, involved in all sorts of dark activity. She also told him that Kano was one of the chosen because he had the same mark after killing one of the heroes, and it transferred to him. But Kano wouldn't stop talking and being rude, so Sonya punched him to shut him up. Suddenly, strange things started happening, and the lights went out. They found something melting the iron ceiling, and things began to fall. The thing was invisible, and attacked Cole and flew Kano to the ceiling. Sonya pulled out a gun and started shooting at it. It turned out to be a lizard from the outer world with the ability to become invisible. It scratched Kano's face, and Sonya threw knives at it, but one hit Kano's leg. The lizard climbed the ceiling, and they noticed it was dripping acid from its mouth, melting the iron. It attacked Sonya and Cole again, and the problem was, they couldn't see it. But then Kano melted the iron in his hand, pulled the knife from his leg, and started attacking the lizard. They all attacked it together, but then it grabbed Kano with its tongue. Cole threw a knife to Sonya, who stabbed it, and Kano pulled the knife and thrust his arm inside it, until he pulled out its heart. Unfortunately, all of Sonya's research burned due to the fire, but the good thing was that Kano knew the temple Sonya was looking for, called Raiden's Temple, where the heroes trained for the tournament. When Sonya asked him to take them to the temple, he said, "You tied me up in the warehouse and stabbed me in the leg, and now you want me to take you too." He left the house, but Sonya stopped him and offered him $2 million to tell her the location of the temple. Kano was surprised and said, "You live in this filthy pit and have $2 million?" Sonya left him and went inside, but he said, $3 million and I'll take you there. She agreed, but Cole asked if she would really give him $3 million. She said, "Someone living in this filthy pit, where would I get $3 million? The next day, Kano contacted someone he knew to get a plane, and they set off. As usual, Cole was dreaming of the fighter Hanzo, who was asking him to free him. Cole didn't understand the meaning of the dream. After a while, they reached a place before the temple, and had to parachute down and continue their journey in the desert. After a long time of walking, Kano sat down to rest, so Cole asked him to give him the way to continue, but Kano refused and started provoking Sonya as usual to get into a fight with her. He even told her to kill him and take his mark. Sonya got annoyed with him, grabbed his knife, circled around him and managed to pin him with the knife to his neck. In the end, she couldn't bring herself to kill him and let him go, and they continued their way. After a while, they met someone on the mountain, and Kano went to pin him with the knife, but he threw a light flare at him and told them, "I'm not your enemy." He introduced himself as Liu Kang from the Light Order at the Shaolin Temple, and told them, "Finally, you've come to look for Raiden's temple." Kano was very surprised at how he could produce fire from his hand, and asked if he could gain superpowers like that. Liu Kang explained that there were many things he would learn, but not here, and asked them to follow him. They all set off into the desert, a long distance, until they reached the place where the temple was. Liu Kang explained that this place had been sacred for thousands of years and told them they needed to start training to prepare for the upcoming tournament. He led them into a secret place, and Kano mocked him, saying, "Don't tell me you're going to open a secret door." But Liu Kang did open a secret door and led them into the temple. There, they saw many live drawings like the one Sonya had collected. Cole saw a drawing of someone being killed, and it had the same weapon he always saw in his dream. Liu Kang explained that they needed to start training quickly before the outer enemy attacked them. Meanwhile, Kano stole a chain and hid it, and Liu continued talking, telling them if they didn't win the next tournament, they would kill everyone dear to them, and each one needed to discover their inner power. He asked Kano to return the chain to its place, and they went to another place where Sonya was surprised to see Jax, who was almost dead. Liu Kang explained that his mission was to gather all the heroes from the world and search for a cure for Jax, but he couldn't find one. He asked Sonya to be patient while the monks tried to save him. He then took them to meet the leader Raiden, but as soon as he saw them, he told Cole that his physical and mental state wasn't ready for fighting. He told Sonya she didn't have the mark, and as for Kano, he electrocuted him, saying he had no power and was arrogant. Raiden explained that the outer world had achieved 9 consecutive victories, and one more victory would allow them to control Earth forever and wipe out the human race completely. But since they had no hope, Master Raiden was going to leave them and go. Cole explained that they were going to kill his family and asked for his help to protect them. After a while Liu Kang was meditating, his flame went out, and Sub-Zero arrived at the place and attacked Liu Kang. He was about to finish him off, but then a fighter named Kung Lao saved him, and stood with Liu, ready to fight. But the big problem was that the leader of the outer world, Shang, arrived, and told his followers it was time to end all this, to take what they want. But then the leader Raiden arrived and stopped them. His orders were to leave the place because the time of the tournament had not yet come. But Shang Tsung told him that fighting outside the tournament was allowed, mocked him and his fighters, and ordered his followers to kill them. But at that moment, Raiden struck the ground with his staff, creating a barrier of lightning between them. Shang Tsung told him that such tricks wouldn't protect him forever, promised to meet him again, and left. Sub-Zero looked at everyone, then left the place as well. Kano didn't care at all about what was happening. All he cared about was discovering what his supernatural power would be. Afterward, Liu Kang took them to the training arena, explaining that inner power comes from each one's own pillars and the purpose of their training was to awaken that power. They all entered the training pit, but Kung Lao stopped Sonya, telling her that someone without the mark would be a burden to the others. Kano, as usual, mocked her and told her to leave, calling her useless. Cole began fighting Kung Lao to discover his power through combat. Kano fought Liu Kang, but since their levels were still weak, Kung Lao and Liu Kang trained them hard. Cole and Kano couldn't do anything against them. Meanwhile, Sonya checked on Jax and was surprised to find him awake, but he didn't know what had happened. He was also shocked to see that they had fitted him with metal arms and was deeply upset by what had happened to him. Later, Liu Kang treated Cole's wound, and Cole asked him how he could find his power. Liu Kang explained that power comes from one's soul, and one must follow it to reach it. He told him that as a child, he had been a homeless orphan on the streets, until Shang Tsung found him and ordered him to kill a child trafficker who bore the dragon mark. Since then, he had carried the mark. Cole continued his training with Kung Lao, but still couldn't find his inner power. At the same time, Jax was trying to adapt to his new arms but felt hopeless, saying he was now useless. Sonya encouraged him, asking him to get up and train to get used to his new arms. Later, they all gathered for dinner, and Kano, as usual, mocked everyone present. Kung Lao got annoyed and provoked him, saying things to anger him. Liu Kang joined in, insulting him until they really got on his nerves. Kano shouted, "Do you know who I am? I'm wanted in 35 countries for crimes you've never heard of." He yelled at everyone present, until suddenly, a laser shot out of his eye, cutting through Kung Lao's hat, and nearly burning everyone. Kano was shocked by what happened, and thrilled that he had discovered his inner power, which was a laser. After that, they decided to provoke Cole in the hope of awakening his power. Kano kept hitting him, but it was useless. Cole became frustrated and felt hopeless, isolating himself. Raiden approached him and said, "You failed to find your power. You've become a burden to the team." Cole asked, "Why do I have the mark? Why am I the only one born with it?" Raiden explained that the mark was a sign of his lineage. Cole replied that he was an orphan from the south side, but Raiden shocked him by revealing that he was descended from one of the greatest ninja warriors in history, Hanzo Hasashi, who was killed along with his family by the man who is now hunting him. Since Hanzo's death, he had descended into the Netherrealm seeking revenge. Raiden revealed that Hanzo had saved the only child from his family, and the mark had been passed down through generations of his lineage. Raiden said, "I thought the strong bloodline would manifest in you." He then opened a portal with lightning and told Cole to return to his family. Meanwhile, in the outer world, the leader summoned a fighter named Nitara and brought in 2 other warriors, Kabal and Ray. He told them they were close to conquering Earth, but needed to eliminate the heroes as quickly as possible. The only problem was the barrier Raiden had created, and a solution was needed to bypass it. Kabal suggested someone named Kano, a despicable man who had caused his iron lung, and said, "Leave him to me, I'll handle him." Additionally, a massive 4-armed fighter named Prince Goro was brought in to stand with them against Earth's heroes to eliminate them. Later, Kabal approached Kano and tried to convince him he was on the wrong side. He promised him many benefits if he joined them, including money, saying, "You could spend your entire life counting it and never finish." The treacherous Kano, upon hearing the word money, said, "What's the task?" He was ordered to go to the dragon statue and use his laser to destroy it, so the barrier would disappear. As soon as he did, the barrier vanished, and Shang Tsung arrived with the other fighters, joined by the traitor Kano. Meanwhile, Cole, at his home, heard a strange noise coming from his shed. He went to check it out and was shocked to find Goro, the 4-armed giant, attacking him. Cole was stunned by his massive size. Goro grabbed him and threw him far away, heading toward his wife and daughter. Cole showed him the mark to distract him and ran to hide in the shed, but Goro ambushed him and attacked again. Meanwhile, Shang Tsung ordered his followers to attack. Rico fought Jax, and Kabal faced Liu Kang, showing his incredible speed. Mileena confronted Sonya, and they fought fiercely. The giant fighter struck Jax with his hammer, knocking him into a pit. At the same time, Goro was pummeling Cole, who was powerless against him. Mileena managed to stab Sonya with her blade, throwing her into the fighting arena. However, Sonya removed the blade and tasted her own blood, declaring, "You're not one of the heroes. Your death is meaningless to me." Before disappearing, Kano then arrived, throwing her into the pit with Jack. He used his laser eye to cut through a statue's arm, causing it to fall on them. Liu Kang was still struggling against Kabal but couldn't handle his speed. Kung Lao attempted to kill the leader with his hat, but the leader dodged it and called upon Nitara. Kung Lao managed to outmaneuver her, leaping onto her wings and using his hat to slice through their head. Returning to Cole, Goro continued to beat him mercilessly, nearly tearing his head from his body. Cole's wife intervened, striking Goro with an axe, allowing her and their daughter to hide in a car, but Goro smashed the car, dragging her out. At that moment, Cole discovered that the bracelet his daughter had given him long ago emitted a powerful shield. He rushed to save his wife, but Goro struck him with the car door, sending him flying. Cole realized that the suit absorbed the force of blows, so he returned to Goro, breaking his arm. The two clashed fiercely until Goro delivered a powerful blow that sent Cole flying once more. He was surprised again when he found daggers appearing from his suit. He immediately returned to the monster and attacked it again, this time managing to cut off its hand, wound its stomach, and stabbed the dagger into its head until it fell to the ground, defeated. He then quickly returned to his wife and daughter to make sure they were okay. Meanwhile, Jax regained consciousness and rushed to Sonya to lift the rock off her, but it was very heavy, and he struggled. Suddenly, his arms transformed into very strong ones, allowing him to easily lift the rock and throw it aside. At this moment, Master Raiden appeared and created a portal for Cole to return. He thanked Shang for helping the fighters discover their superpowers and revealed that Cole is a descendant of Hisashi. Raiden created portals to take Cole and the fighters, but Sub-Zero stopped Cole and was about to kill him. However, Kung returned and stopped Sub-Zero. Shang then grabbed Kung to kill him, but he couldn't do anything to him, and Shang took his soul. Cole returned through the thunder portals. Master Raiden took all the fighters to the Void World, which is between the real world and the other world, a place where no one can reach them. He apologized to Liu for losing his friend Kung and explained that he was forbidden from participating in the battles on Earth. He took out Master Henzo's weapon and told Cole that the blood on it is the blood of his ancestors, handed it to him and told him to use it in battle, promising that Henzo's spirit would fight alongside him. Since the other group did not adhere to the rules, they decided to make a tight plan to kill each one individually. Cole asked the master if they could go anywhere, and he agreed. Cole then began to divide the fighters. Jax would fight Reiko, Sonya would go to Kano, but he warned her about the laser he emitted. He and Liu would handle Mileena and Kabal, and they agreed to eventually unite and fight Sub-Zero together because he was a powerful fighter, and no one could handle him alone. Each hero had a vendetta against the other fighters, so they fought fiercely to defeat their opponent. Jax managed to deal with Reiko, took his hammer and kept hitting him in the face until he finally crushed his head with his metal hand. Sonya went to Kano, tricked him several times in her house, and then they both attacked each other until he took her out of the house and grabbed her by the neck, about to finish her off. But she grabbed a statue from the ground and stabbed it in his eye, and finished him. Since she had the dragon mark and she killed him, the mark transferred to her and she was very happy about it. Meanwhile, Kabal was fighting Liu, but Liu was very angry with him because of his friend Kung's death. He attacked Kabal with great strength using his secret fighting style, and unleashed a massive fiery dragon that attacked and finished off Kabal. On the other side, Mileena was attacking Cole, but the problem was that she changed her position very quickly, and Cole couldn't handle her until she finally reached Sonya, who used her new power and destroyed Mileena in second. Meanwhile, Ali was gathering her things and told her daughter they had to leave before another strange creature attacked them. Just as she was talking, she was surprised to find Sub-Zero standing in their house. Cole returned and showed him his daughter's pendant, turning it to ice and breaking it. Cole rushed at him, but Sub-Zero took him to another place, where he found his wife frozen. Sub-Zero told him he would finally finish off the Hisashi bloodline and began attacking Cole fiercely, freezing him and throwing him away. He then saw his daughter also frozen, which enraged Cole. He drew Hanzo's fighter's blade and attacked Sub-Zero with it, but Sub-Zero took it from him. Cole held the weapon with his hand, and it lit up. Sub-Zero realized it was Hanzo Hisashi's weapon. Just as he was about to kill Cole, he was hit with a weapon in his hand, and was surprised to see Hanzo freed from captivity. Hanzo pulled Sub-Zero up and began attacking him fiercely, wanting revenge for what he did to his family long ago. He removed the mask from his face and said, "Remember this face?" He continued attacking him with great strength, and the battle lasted a long time. Meanwhile, Cole was trying to free his daughter from the ice but couldn't. When Hanzo saw Cole's daughter, he remembered what happened to his family at Sub-Zero's hands, and became even angrier, continuing his attack. Cole joined Hanzo in attacking Sub-Zero, and they controlled the fight. Sub-Zero managed to freeze Hanzo, but Cole continued the attack alone, trying to free his daughter at the same time. Hanzo eventually freed his hand, released a flame that revived Cole's daughter and wife, and saved them from the ice. Cole returned with Hanzo, and they attacked Sub-Zero again until they defeated him, and knocked him to the ground. Hanzo told Cole to leave him to him, removed his mask, and said, "Didn't you want me to burn in hell? I managed to use all the past years to control it," and unleashed fire from his mouth on Sub-Zero, burning him until he finished him off. In the end, he spoke to Cole and asked him to preserve their lineage. He transformed into fire and disappeared from the place. Then Master Raiden and the rest of the fighters arrived. The master told Cole he couldn't believe what he had done and was very pleased with him. Cole introduced his family to his new friend. Shang arrived again and said, "Don't think that just because you've won now, I won't be back," and took all his dead fighters, promising Master Raiden that next time he would return with armies they couldn't stand against. The master knew they had won the battle but needed to be prepared for any sudden fight, asking them to search for the rest of the heroes to gather together and confront the fighters of the outer world. The film ends there. If you liked the video, subscribe to the channel and activate the notification button so you never